Hi, everybody. It's Babbitt from B&B New Beginnings with an In the Meantime share. I hope you're all well and had a great weekend. I certainly did. On this In the Meantime share, last time I talked to you, well, before even begin, let me just thank anybody who's watching. Thank you for stopping by to listen to my share today, and I hope that this particular share or anything that I share will resonate with somebody out there, that somebody needs to hear it. And maybe it will be helpful because, after all, this is the whole point, isn't it? And it certainly is my purpose. So we'll see. Anyway, the last time I talked to you, I shared some thoughts about my journey with my emotional excavation that I'm going through and have been going through for several months, and I'm going to continue to take this deep dive until I'm satisfied. And I think it's very necessary for me. I am transforming from the inside out, which is very, very important to my authenticity. So, with that said, I'm going to share a very personal story, just a scotch of it, because it is actually a saga. And that I won't be sharing this whole saga. I'm definitely going to be putting this in writing at some point, but I want to share just a scotch of it to make my point. Today, I want to talk to you about baggage, the heaviness and the burdensome weight, if you will, of past experiences that you have not, or I have not dealt with. I'm not going to say you because I'm not you and I don't know what your experiences are, but here's what I do know. I do know that we all have a story. I have a story, you have a story, we all have a story. We all have experiences in our lives that some of them come with a lot of pain, hurt, upset. And typically what happens is we want to bury and pocket those live emotions. And when you pocket those live emotions, they don't go away. They bubble up to the surface at some point. And so for me, several things have been bubbling up. This one issue in particular. I have an amazing son. He is very intellectual, very bright. Some of you know him. He's a lovely human being, wonderful spirit, great energy. And I'm so proud of him. He's the first grandson in our family to have not one, but two masters. And I just am so proud of him, and I'm very happy to watch him grow. Even with the obstacles that are placed before him, he is just quite something. Well, anyway, when I was 17 years old, I was enrolled. I actually went to Sacred Heart Grammar School and Sacred Heart High School. In my third year, I delivered my son. I didn't even know I was with a child. I didn't carry him like a normal woman would. I had no way. Nobody could tell I was pregnant because I carried him in my back for the most part. And I always made my own clothes ever since I was like maybe 13 or so. So anyway, nobody knew I was pregnant, including myself. So there was like no difference. If I did gain a little weight, it was probably just people thought I was, getting a little bigger or something. I don't know. But anyway, after he was born, I'm going to skip to the after part because the rest of this whole saga I'm going to share at some point. Trust. Anyway, I had to go before Father Blanchfield, who was the priest at the rectory at Sacred Heart and the head of the whole school and all that stuff. And he, when I reflect back on it, I think, wow, that guy had absolutely no bedside manner whatsoever, if you will. I know doctors are the ones with the bedside manner, but I'm using that term to be nice to this individual. And he said to me, you have to leave this school for good because you have committed a mortal sin, which is the worst sin that you could commit when you are a Catholic, all right? And I was crying because I couldn't compute any of this, I had a baby. I'm being kicked out of school. I had to go to a whole new school, Wilby High, which was fine. I don't even, I mean, someday I'm going to go to a reunion so I can reintroduce myself to the kids spent my last year with. So anyway, he said, yes, you have to leave for good. My life changed suddenly because I had to go to a new school and I didn't know anybody. I was scared to death. And ever since then, I've been scarred with that burden, with that feeling of, you're no good. You don't make sense to anything for any reason. And so that turned me into a very extremely insecure person. Now, people look at me and they think because I'm a healing arts practitioner, board certified, I may add, and fashion designer, artist, people would say that they would never think that I was insecure or I'd never have issues to deal with. Well, let me tell you, I have barrels of issues, and my mistakes are no more important than yours, and your missteps are no more important than mine. My burdens are just as heavy as yours in some cases, and maybe in others not. The point is, we all come with baggage. We all come with things that we are not comfortable with, okay? And we bury them so deep, like that's what I did. I disconnected from my physical well-being, my physicality, period. I didn't know anything about being beautiful, or when people would say that to me, I did not get it. I am telling you, until I started to reconnect with that part of me when I married my husband, James, because he was just the kindest, sweetest. Oh my God. He gave me the support, the respect, the love I needed as a female that I never, ever had received in my life. My husband, James, gave me that gift. And he was just wonderful. Gosh, I miss him very, very much. But anyway, so I carried this burden all these years, right? And it kept, it would pop up every once in a while, and every once in a while, no. Well, now that I have made this incredible, wonderful commitment to me, to rid myself of all of these old recordings in my head and in my heart that play over and over and over again, that make me feel that I'm not good enough, that make me feel insecure or sad. Let me say this to you. If you are experiencing the weight, the heaviness of missteps, mistakes, things that happened that were sad to you in your life experiences, there is not one thing that you could do about the past. Not a damn thing can you do about the past. You can't change those experiences. They're a done deal. And you cannot go into the future. But what you have is yourself, and you have right here and right now. And this is where you can make a huge difference in your life instead of dragging that baggage around. Every day, imagine this, you're walking around tripping over that same baggage over and over and over again. No matter where you go, you're bringing it. Even though it quiets down a little bit, all of a sudden it comes back up, especially when you're alone and it's late at night and you start thinking about your past and the things that you shoulda, woulda, coulda. I'm telling you, it makes no sense. What you're doing is smothering yourself. You're smothering your voice. You're hiding yourself. This is what I did to myself for years. I've been hiding away. And now, suddenly, after I think I started this maybe really coming out of myself and showing face several months ago, and prior to that, I was beginning to make this connection. So this is how, in the meantime, it was born because of COVID. I wanted to do something. And now I realize this is part of the bigger picture. It's my purpose to share. There is nothing wrong and no shame in my story, just as there is no shame in the stories of many other people. The shame comes in, if you want to bring shame into the picture, is when you do not let your voice be heard, when you don't share your story. Because what I'm sharing with you, if this resonates and touches somebody, it's going to give you the strength to help somebody else. That's the way life works, period. Take those burdens and get rid of them however you can. And I'm going to tell you what I did. Last week when this bubbled up, it was pouring rain. I was crying, I was writing, I was doing all kinds of stuff. Having a come to Jesus conversation. I mean, I was doing a thing. And I decided I was going to make a list of all of these things that were hurting me, that pained me. And I was going to go out to the fire pit and burn it up after I prayed. But it was pouring. I mean, it was torrential rains. So what I did instead was I went to the kitchen sink. I filled up the kitchen sink and got my list. And I asked God, I said a very simple prayer, very simple. Because all day long I was talking to him, why? So I said very powerful. I said, God, please release me from these burdens right here, right now. I am tired. I am tired. I am 70 years old. I need to release this because I've got work to do for you. Release these burdens. And I took the lighter, burned that stuff up to ash, let it drop in the sink, clean out the sink. I am telling you, I felt like bricks, were being lifted off of my shoulders. Bricks. That's how it felt, so heavy, like a big bag of bricks that you pull around with you everywhere you go. That's baggage. It's unhealthy. It's covering up who you are. It's hiding your voice. Do you know how long I've been hiding from me? I had no connection with my own beauty, with my own physicality for so long. Well, you know what? For me, that ends. that ends now, So if you're having these issues, maybe you have another way to resolve, to get rid of this baggage or the burdens or the feeling of heaviness. Because you know what happens? Okay, we literally stuff it down, pocket it somewhere in our body. And then, because you don't want to deal with it, let's say you love chocolate and you eat too much chocolate. That's an addiction, right? And every time something flares up, you go for that chocolate, or you go for that cigarette, or you go for some bad habit that you should not be doing. I'm a picker. I pick. No, when I started this journey, I'm like, oh no, see, you think you're slick, right? You think that you're going to get me to go and eat so that I can quiet this noise. No, show me, because I'm getting rid of this stuff, period. And that's how you learn to transform from the inside out. That way you will be able to attract and draw in what you need so that you can manifest all the things that you want in your life. You will command the respect that you deserve, the love, the joy, the happiness. It doesn't mean that all the obstacles are over. Oh no. You still have things that are going to come to you that you're going to have to face. I'm talking about these old hurts, these old burdens that you're carrying around with you. It's time to release them. It's time to let them go and breathe in some wonderful, new, powerful energy. Be every bit of you. I deserve the best of everything. That's how I feel about me. You deserve the best of everything. I am no better than you, and you are no better than me. I'm telling you that right now. We are all children of God Almighty. All of us. We may be going in different directions. We may be experiencing different things. But many of us are feeling the heaviness from old burdens, old hurts. Get rid of them. Make and create new space in your lives so that you'll be a healthier being for yourself, for your family. This is part of my purpose. I'm telling you, I know what I'm supposed to do, and I've known it for some time, and I'm delivering this message to somebody out there. I pray to God that it resonates, because you do not have to walk around in pain for the rest of your life. You understand? Get rid of those burdens. They mean you no good. Period. This is my in the meantime share. Now I want to read you this card on change. This is so beautiful, and it's very, very, very powerful, and I think you'll enjoy it, okay? Now that I closed the book and lost my page. Here it is. Okay, change. Here's the oracle card. I love my oracle cards. This comes from the Soul's Journey. Okay, all right, and here's the card. It says change. The other day, when I was having my conversation and my crying, and I talk to God all the time. You don't have to talk to him in a special way. You just talk to him. Anyway, I pulled an oracle card, and this was the one. And I said the next time I do in the meantime, I would share it. So here it goes. There is a certain comfort in the idea of living a life without surprises. The status quo has an appeal, but you will never learn or grow in your circumstances if your circumstances stay the same. Everybody wants life to be better, but that requires change. You have chosen to incarnate into this physical dimension called Earth because of the myriad of opportunities. If you don't take advantage of them, what is the point? Staying within your comfort zone is overrated. With change comes transformation, and with transformation comes evolution. Thank you, God. Stop viewing change as good or bad because all change nourishes your soul. Don't equate it with a lack of control. Life happens, and it's supposed to happen. You can direct how it plays out, and you always have the power to accept a change that redirects your path. I hope this resonates with someone out there. I really do. Because I know how painful it is to walk around with all that baggage and all of the hurts, and especially when they're old, and they keep coming back at you. So use that exercise if that helps. If you have a different exercise, use it. It doesn't matter. The point is, rid yourself of all the old, worn out baggage. Make space for new, powerful energy so that you can attract whatever it is that you want in this life. And that's my In the Meantime share. I wish you all a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time on In the Meantime. Bye-bye for now, and remember, be inspired.